Welcome to Class with Skeul, where Black American history, news, and real issues are taught with clarity, structure, and purpose. This is not surface-level content. This is a timeline, a record, a correction. Every episode is built to teach what was done, what was fought for, and what was taken. From revolts to wars, from policy to resistance, we break it down so it can be understood, remembered, and never rewritten. Because history that isn't taught clearly can be distorted, and history that is distorted can be used against the people it belongs to. Here, we focus on accuracy, on connection, on truth. Not just to inform, but to preserve. Not just to explain, but to expose. Because this isn't just about the past. It's about understanding the present and recognizing what continues. Each video is part of a larger structure, so nothing is isolated and nothing is forgotten. Stay focused, stay aware, stay connected. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Isaiah 58:1.
Episode 14, World War II, Part 1. The world goes to war again, but this time, the scale is even larger. In 1941, after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the United States entered World War II. And once again, Black Americans were called to fight for a country that still operated under segregation. Separate units, separate barracks, separate treatment. But the battlefield didn't care about segregation. It demanded discipline, performance, endurance. Over 1 million Black Americans served during World War II. Some worked in support roles, others became pilots, tank crews, engineers, and combat troops, and some units would become legendary. The Tuskegee Airmen proved themselves in the skies over Europe, escorting bombers and building one of the strongest combat records of the war. The 761st Tank Battalion, known as the Black Panthers, fought through intense combat across Europe. The 92nd Infantry Division fought in Italy under brutal conditions. These units operated inside a segregated military, but their performance challenged the system directly because results are difficult to deny. This was not just participation, this was proof on a global battlefield.
If you've made it this far, you're not just watching, you're following Black American warrior history in its full timeline. On Class with Skeul, every episode connects, showing resistance, strategy, and power across generations. If you're tapped in, support the channel. Hit like so more people see this. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Turn on the notification bell so you're there when it drops. And share this with someone who needs the full story, not just pieces. This isn't random content. It's a structured history. Stay locked in. The next episode goes deeper. World War II changed the balance. Not immediately, but permanently. Black soldiers returned home with combat experience, technical skill, and expanded perspective. They had fought fascism overseas, yet segregation still existed at home. That contradiction became impossible to ignore. At the same time, Black workers entered factories and defense industries during the war, strengthening economic presence inside the country. The war accelerated movement, accelerated visibility, accelerated pressure on the system, and resistance began to organize differently, not just through survival, not just through defense, but through coordinated national action. This period also introduced the DoubleV campaign, victory abroad against fascism, victory at home against segregation. The mindset was changing. The expectations were changing, and the system was beginning to feel that pressure. In 1948, just a few years after the war, Harry S. Truman signed Executive Order 9981, beginning the desegregation of the U.S. military. A structure that had resisted integration for generations was forced to change. This moment represents a transition in the timeline, from segregation enforced without challenge to organized pressure demanding transformation. The battlefield was no longer only overseas, it was inside the country itself, and the next phase would push that conflict into the streets, the courts, and the national spotlight. Watch, learn, and connect the pattern. If you made it to the end, stay tapped in. Like this video so it reaches more people. Subscribe to Class with Skeul for the full timeline. Turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Drop a comment. What stood out, what should be added, and what you want covered next.